Alhamdulillah. I know you got this, they don't like this. Alhamdulillah. Tomorrow night, I'm gonna smash your boy, guys.
Please put like, put, yes. Yes. First one, yeah.
Really?
No. Now we're good. Now we're good, coach.
But look, everything that you have, I like.
Oops. Oh, this one. Okay. Now we're good.
Yeah, no, I get to I get to be around them a lot, which was really cool. Right now he's not here right now. He had
He went back to Russia,
he went to, but when he was here and he was doing the training camp, man, the energy of the gym was just so great. Of course it's a little bit weird because of their religion and stuff like that, so they don't really talk to women. You know, the girls are kind of, I mean, we say hi to each other, maybe fist pump, but they don't train with women. They won't train with women.
Interesting.
So
Okay.
but I get to see it, so a lot of time he's grappling there, you know, he's showing technique and stuff like that, so I get to have at least my adequate training partners, but it's not like I don't learn stuff, so I guess I still get to watch it and learn, but I don't physically train with him or any of his guys. I don't think any of the women do, so yeah, they don't.
Well, let me ask you this though: do you take offense to that at all? I know it's part of their. I know there's kind of this idea that they just want to train with themselves and stuff, but like how do you feel about that, honestly?
It doesn't bother me in the sense, because they're not really being directly rude to me. Sometimes I think they've made like comments on social media about them not thinking, you know, wanting that.
Well, Islam Makhachev had that tweet about, when Jędrzejczyk and Zhang fought, he said something about women shouldn't fight or something like that. Like you're in that environment. Is that something that bothers you at all, or do you just roll off your shoulder?
You know, it just rolls off my shoulder. I know a lot of women got upset by that and stuff like that, but I cannot get mad or judge anybody else based on how they were raised. I just cannot, you know. Okay. And I can see, I don't know, maybe of their idea of what a woman represents to them and why they can't really fathom seeing women fighting, you know what I mean? And it's kind of like, I don't know. It just doesn't really bother me if they don't go out of my way to be rude. If they don't, you know, I don't get kicked out of the gym or anything. I don't have an issue of me training along them. They're fine. They're respectful. They're nice. You know, if I pass by, you know, if they're blocking the way, Khabib's like, come on, man. You know, like he's just making sure they're still respectful. They're all entitled into their own opinion. It doesn't bother me. I still seen Islam over the weekend after that comments. I didn't really get bothered by it. I know other girls got bothered by that. So yeah, it doesn't bother me. I mean, I'm not over there, so they're over here in my country. So as long as they're not being rude to me and you know, bothering my training camp, we're good.
Yeah. Do you think part of that too is a language barrier of him tweeting that out? Like maybe he meant to say something else and it didn't really come across that well, or do you think he meant what he meant in that tweet? I
don't know. I think he meant I think he meant it. I think he meant that he really doesn't think women should be fighting. I feel like Khabib had made a comment like that before, but they're not, you know, just because you don't, you know, a lot of people, there's a lot of things you're not going to agree with in this world. It doesn't mean, you know, you're going to be really hateful towards each other. We're definitely not hateful. I think it's just something that they don't agree with.
Yeah, and just to clarify, like we're not like I'm certainly not trying to pick on them or anything like that, because there's been other fighters that have said this. George St. Pierre said it, I remember years ago. Fedor Emelianenko. So there's been other fighters who, for whatever reason, just have this idea that, you know, women shouldn't fight or whatever. It's just one of those things.
World Series of Fighting came to Kansas City. So one of our guys, Bobby Cooper, fought in the card, and I was cornering him. And he was fighting a guy that was under Khabib Nurmagomedov, And so Khabib was there cornering him with his team. And then, so normally after the fight finishes, the corner goes in, we shake each other's hands, we shake the fighter's hands. So I shook the opposing fighter, shook two of the coach's hands, but Khabib just completely ignored me. And at the time, I feel like a horrible person. At the time, I did not know that he was Muslim. So I just want to put that out there. So I didn't know he's Muslim, and he just completely ignored me. So I'm like standing there while they're announcing the winner. I was like, wow, like, did I do something? Did I say something? Like, I didn't say anything to him, so it couldn't be I said something. Like, he really just doesn't like me. Okay, this is weird. So they announced the winner. His guy won, our guy lost. So we were walking out the cage, and we shook everyone's hand again. I shook the coach's hand, and I went up to Khabib, and I was like, I'm just gonna shake his hand. Like, I'm just gonna go up to him. So I went up to him. I just grabbed his hand and shook it, and he looked at me like I had done the worst thing that I could ever do on the face of the earth. I was like, and I remember thinking to myself, I was like, wow, he really doesn't like me. This is so weird. Okay. And I walked out, and then later on, someone told me that he was Muslim, and that it was like a respect thing that they didn't shake other women's hands. And oh my, as soon as I found that out, I felt like the worst person, like, on earth. I was like, oh my God, I feel like a horrible person. I just did what you don't do, and I felt so bad. And I remember, like, one of my friends a couple of years later went and trained at AKA with DC and with Khabib, and he'd mentioned it to Khabib. He's like, no, like, I remember, like, tell her it wasn't I wasn't meant to be rude, like, it was a respect thing, and like, tell her not to worry about it and all that kind of stuff. But like, I swear to God, like, so I'm glad that he's okay with it, but still to this day I feel like the worst fucking person for doing that. But yeah, like, that's my story about meeting Khabib Nurmagomedov, and yeah, it's something that I probably won't ever forget.
Hey Omar, who's all that candy for there, buddy?
All for him.
For you, coach. For me? Is that all for me?
No diet for you.
No diet?
Look at that.
Diet? It's a diet. Look at all that. You sure that's all for me?
Yes.
Not for you? Well, you want that? You just karak.
If you don't know.
Now I know. I know. You're drinking. Claude, is that all yours right there?
It's all Omar's.
All Omar's. It's all Omar's, isn't it? He's sharing with everybody.
It's all for Omar.
You like? Everybody like?
Yes.
Godfather like. All that candy right there is a mountain of gold, guys. Crazy.